Aloha Virgo, and welcome to White Shadow Spiritual Advising. My name is BriaBogatin, and today we'll be doing your monthly August tarot forecast. So you can check out your sun, moon, rising sign, or really any placement within your birth chart in regards to these videos. Down below you can find the information to my email and Instagram page. If you have any questions about my work or want a session with me, you can message me through one of those platforms. Also down below, if you would like to support my work or send me a tip or a donation or whatever, you can do that by finding the links down below, my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, etc. Okay, so Virgo, this is how I'm gonna put it to you. Okay, you guys are closing out a cycle, and I feel that it's been a little bit of a struggle to get to the finish line. And the reason why is because you need to have different perspectives. You need to flip a perspective, something within your mind, the way that you're perceiving this cycle. And I would even say how it's closing out. Maybe it doesn't sit right with you entirely, but you need to surrender to that and change the perspective. And so why am I saying that? Okay, so let's get into it. So you guys did have a lot of cards come out at once, and so I kind of had to narrow it down so that I can, I only have 4 cards, and like 7 of them came out. So I would say to Virgos, get a reading, talk to your therapist about this, find a way to work through this with help, and understand that Spirit has a lot to say to you for the month of August. Okay, so the first 2 cards that we are receiving is the 10 of Rods and the Hanged Man. So when we look at the 10 of Rods, we see a struggle going on. We see something happening, where this person is trying with all his might to hold up these rods, and he's struggling. So this is very much about taking on too many burdens, taking on too many responsibilities. But I really feel it's saying that you guys are having a struggle getting to the finish line. But you have to understand that the finish line is near, with this being the number 10. And just with the message of the 10 of Rods in general is that of this struggle is almost over. You're almost at the finish line. But again, there's too much of this going on. There's too much of, I'm trying to hold everything up. I'm trying to satisfy everything. I'm trying too much. I'm doing the most. This is a card of like, I'm doing the most. I'm being extra, everything like that. And so then when we have the Hanged Man, this card is saying to you that perspectives need to be healed and perspectives need to be changed. So when we see the Hanged Man, you see this person is upside down, tied to this thingy right there, upside down, but he has a halo around his head, and he doesn't look like he's struggling. He looks content. This can mean a lot of different things, but what it really, what's really sticking out to me with this card for you guys is that this can represent being in a situation where you should feel uncomfortable, but you've gotten so used to it that you just feel comfortable. This is also about not fully acknowledging what Spirit and what your insights, what your higher self, your higher power, or whatever, is telling you to do. You need to really listen to the guidance, because that is what is going to get you out of this situation. And again, I feel really strongly that this has a lot to do with the way you're perceiving whatever has gone down for you. That is what is preventing this cycle to fully close out for you. So you really need to pay attention to what perspectives am I holding that aren't working for me, that might be a trauma response, that might be a way for me to protect myself in a way that maybe I don't need to be protected. Because with the 10 of Rods, you can also see this imagery as this person trying to shield themselves from something, but there's nothing around to be shielded from. So this is also an essence of, you need to be a little bit more vulnerable when it comes to Spirit and what you're feeling from your spirit guides. Be more vulnerable towards yourself. Be more vulnerable to the energy around you in a sense of what it's trying to tell you, if that makes sense. So then you are receiving the 8 of Rods and the World card. So what this is telling me, Virgo, is blast off, literally. That's what the Eight of Rods is. Once you are able to really heal that mindset, once you're able to really rectify the mindset, change the perspectives, you're going to take off into a completely different place. And the world represents completion and a move to the next level and closing a door and opening a new one. So if you can see where I'm getting at here, Virgo, once you change that perspective and heal the outdated perspectives, you will take off into a completely different energetic space within your life that will fully allow you to shut that door that you're kind of like, it's like you're standing like in between the door, like the opening. It's like you're here and then you're here and then you're in the middle. You know, you got one foot in the water, one foot out of the water, that kind of thing. And so once you change the perspective, you'll be able to pull yourself out of it entirely, okay? The World card is about a heightening of consciousness. So also to understand that whatever you have experienced, it's not a mistake. It's not something that you know necessarily did wrong. Maybe you did something wrong, but we're meant to make mistakes in life. We're meant to put ourselves in stupid, ignorant situations, you know, that we know we shouldn't put ourselves in. But if we don't do that, then where and how are we going to learn in the way that we need to learn within our human nature? So maybe this is also about self-forgiveness when it comes to you, Virgo, because I know you Virgos don't want to be making mistakes, and you guys are very particular, and you guys are very prestigious kind of people, but it's okay to not be all the time and to fuck up, right? Or to allow yourself to be somewhere that isn't so good for you. But understand that once you change that perspective, obstacles will be lifted, challenges will be overcome, and you will be catapulted into a whole new place. So even this analogy here, I like to use the bow and arrow. You know, with the bow and arrow, you have to pull it back to shoot it forward, right? So when you feel in life you're being put on pause or halted, or you keep hitting roadblocks, it's because you're being pulled back in order to shoot forward. So keep that in mind during this time, Virgo. And then again, the World card, completion, a move to the next level. This month in August, you will be closing out a major cycle for yourself that has probably followed you from lover to lover, friend to friend, mother figure to mother figure, things like that. This is something that goes back to your earlier years, you know, maybe your first love relationship, maybe a trauma from your father or a brother or a mother, whatever it is. You need to reflect on that and understand that this is now closing out. Because when I was shuffling the cards, one of the cards that came out as well is Judgment. So that is telling me that this is big energy. You're working with big energy. Don't be afraid of it. Step into it and change the perspectives. The Judgment card is telling you that the change of perspective is the karmic lesson, pretty much, is the karmic action you need to take, okay? So I'm going to leave that at that for you, Virgo. Good luck with everything, and I hope you all have a beautiful month.